Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, well, welcome to Coffee with the Cowgirl. I'm Brett Kruger,
I'm Remy Breer, and I'm moving camera.
and today we have a very special guest with us. Thank you to Remy, and I will let Remy introduce her.
This is Krystle Schvaneveldt of Dusty Diamond Leather. Say hello, Krystle.
Hello.
Um, well, it is a Thursday after a very long weekend, which Krystle and I were talking before you got on, and it felt like you know how much I love 4th of July weekend, but even I was ready to say goodbye because it got to be too long. And because it was on a Tuesday, Tuesday didn't even feel like the 4th of July because we had been celebrating since
Yeah,
Saturday.
you started
probably.
on like Saturday.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. So I was ready to be done with that. I was ready to put 4th of July to bed this year.
We did James's birthday, so we had a lot of food. We had a lot of people over, so I made brisket and tri-tip and burnt ends on the smoker, and then hamburger and hot dogs and a lot of sides. So
You must have been feeding an army, Remy, or
we
you
had a
were
lot of
eating
people
all day.
Yeah.
Well, we had our 4th of July party on Sunday, and
I'm listening to you.
I got an outdoor grill at my lake. They built it on Friday and Saturday, and I love it. You guys, it's brick. It's kind of big, and then you put apple wood in it, and then I don't know. It's all kinds of deliciousness.
So now you don't even have to leave the lake to get ready.
I know, and I can finally use my Christmas present because Brandon bought me that giganto cast iron pot that's got the little legs on it that you can't use unless you're using it over an open fire because it'll wreck your stove because it's got those freaking legs on it and it's so heavy. So I have a place that I can use that, which I love. But we did that. Have you guys ever had those can cookers? Like it looks like milk cans.
No.
Okay. Well, there's these milk cans and they're probably about this big. And you buy ham and kielbasa, meat like potatoes, carrots, onions, and you put it all together. And then you put butter and like a beer or Mountain Dew in there with it. And then it comes out, you throw it on the table, and then everybody eats, and it's so good. Oh, and
it's the beer or Mountain Dew that does it for me because those are not the same flavor profile.
I know they're not. Right? And I think that we did one with beer and one with Mountain Dew. And the one with Mountain Dew, the sweet corn, was extremely good. I don't know. It was.
I don't like
really
the canned
sweet.
beer chicken. So,
I don't know. So that was my 4th of July. Nobody got hurt during fireworks. Usually we have an incident or two, but it was good.
Everybody has their fingers.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Yeah, the one year. I shouldn't even tell this story. So the one year we were all done with fireworks, and we do get the ones that come from Wisconsin, so they're the good ones. And somebody puts the empty fire boxes into the freaking fire.
Oh shit.
And it was like World War II. We're all sitting there around the fire, we're conversing, and then all of a sudden it was like rounds going off at us. And everybody was scared and running and like throwing people out of the way. We can all laugh about it right now because it was hilarious. Thankfully, nobody got hurt, but it is everything that you've seen on TV and more.
Mm-hmm. Put it in reverse, Terry. Put it in reverse.
Yeah, you don't want to be in the middle of it. I can tell you that. I about broke my ankle because a grown ass man ran me over to get to safety.
What about you, Krystle? What did you do for 4th of July?
Where do I start? Saturday, I went out to lunch with my sister-in-law and my niece and came home, and the neighbors across the street, they're amazing. They have a pool, so they invited me over. And then we went to demolition racing that night. Sunday, my husband flew in from Edgewood, New Mexico, so I had to go pick him up. And we just slept the whole day after that. And then Tuesday, went back over to the neighbors with the pool and hung out with them and barbecued and had a good time. So
it was toasty on 4th of July. It was a little warm.
Yeah.
Those simple days are pretty fun, I think. I like that.
Yeah. It was definitely warm, and Saturday was super warm.
Yeah, it's now cooling off a little bit, but it was the heating trend was real hot this weekend.
Yes.
It was for us too, and now you guys it's 70 degrees. Hence the sweatshirt. I'm freezing.
I wish. I feel like I'm sweating already this morning. So
yeah. It's warm. I mean, not as warm as it was, but it's warm. So yesterday I went down to see my dad, and he has like this really nice pool that's like got a nice rock wall built behind it, and the water stays like this far below the ledge. This is important because we're trying to find my stepmom, and she's like, "I need your help." And we come out, and there's like 7 little ducklings, in the pool, and a wild duck. So we walk over, and the wild duck flies away, and so we're taking like my dad's got has like a long like window scraper that you'd use for like 2nd-story windows, and she's got a broom, and I've got the pool net, so like I fish all the ducks out, and we're looking for the last. We get them all out that time, and then we're looking for the last one. We can't find it, so we go to like the suction thing, like the round deal. We pop it open, and there's 3 in there. They're not dead. There's 3 in there just swimming around. There's more than we had seen. And we get them out, and you hear them like quacking, and the mom's like has gone up and around the rock wall and is watching me, and then all of a sudden she disappears. All the ducklings disappear. And we like eat dinner. We go back outside. She hears the chirping again. Fucking ducklings are in the pool, and the mom is like nowhere. So we fish them out again. And my stepmom got all of them except for one that time. And I mean, like she got them all in one fell swoop that time with the pool skimmer. And then we get the other one out, and I was like, Katie, they're going to be right back in the pool. Like they've already done this. They're going to be right back in. She goes, no, it's dark. It'll be fine. So I'm driving home, and I get a text from her. She's like, 11:23 p.m. The mother and all the ducklings are back in the pool.
How do you even keep them out of it besides covering it?
Oh, I told him to get one of those like battery powered like fake toy speedboats and just have it make like a hot lap around there.
Well, like an owl, like does that scare them?
They have hawks that like sit on their fence, so I don't think the owl statue is gonna work.
I don't know.
It's a nice pool. So she was worried because they come to do chemicals today on the pool, so she was worried about them, and I was like, well, adapt or die, man. They're gonna.
But now she's worried that the chemicals are gonna harm them.
Oh yeah, she's trying to rescue them, and I was like, you don't want ducks in your pool; they make a mess out of your pool. But so that was
that's funny.
That's I'm a duck wrangler, and I can now put that on my business card. Duck wrangler. for
woman of many talents, Remy.
So look, I got another Bones thing today, and I got this one for you. Breck, it's the strawberry cheesecake.
And it's coffee. That's strawberry cheesecake.
Yeah, I'm sending you that. I'm sending you some of these ones, but I haven't tried it yet. Where is it? Carrot cake.
I think that one would be kind of good. It sounds.
I'm sending you some. I'm not sending you the whole box. I got your own box of strawberry cheesecake, though.
Okay.
And then salty siren.
That one's probably your favorite. If you
know like
Remy,
the coffee is very good, but I really like the packaging, so there's that.
She's an interesting individual.
Yeah.
Hey, she makes like space cowgirls on her leather stuff, so I don't want to hear nothing.
Yeah, that's true.
I have a feeling that she's not as. What is my word for you? There's basic bougie. Remy's opposite of all of that. I have a word for you.
I'm unassumingly bougie.
Unassumingly bougie. That is what it is. I mean, who the fuck loves what's your favorite scent, Remy? It's like a mixture between dead roses or dead wildflowers and oak. I like that. I like cactus when it is in bloom. I mean, her freaking answers are like, who the fuck says that? I don't know.
Me.
Her. Mm-hmm.
Just because I don't want to smell like Christmas.
We should get on with our interview with Krystle. who is Remy's friend, neighbor, and Remy is a customer
Yes.
of her work. We thank you so much for being on here with us today. We know that it's not easy because it's a little scary when you do these things. I like to think that it's not that scary with us because we're pretty good hosts, we're funny, and we make it fun.
Yeah.
But I know it's super early in the morning, and so thank you for taking away from your sleep to hang with us this morning.
Thanks for
Krystle.
having me.
Yeah, and also we're doing it on a Thursday because
Right.
I texted
had
Breck
too
and I was
many
like, hey,
margaritas.
or no, Breck texted me, she's like, are we going to do this tomorrow? But I knew it was her favorite holiday. I was going to text her, and then I texted Krystle because July 5th didn't seem like a good idea to wake up early.
Yeah, no.
I took Tuesday off from the party. Like I said, I was good to go. So tell everybody where you're from, Krystle, in California.
Well, currently I live in Menifee, so in between Temecula and what would that be, Riverside. I grew up though in Calamasa, which is in a really small town, and it's about 30 minutes north of here, probably 45 actually minutes more north of here, between Palm Springs and LA.
Where we have our cabin.
Yeah, exactly.
That could not have been like a farming ranching community, could have it?
No, not really. I mean, there's horses and stuff there, but I grew up like in a regular house, no horses. Just was born with like the horse lover genes. So I begged my parents for like 7 years to get me a horse, and when they finally did, we had to board her out at a ranch. So yeah. So now we finally have our horses at home, but yeah.
What did you say that again? Sorry.
Oh, now that I live in Menifee with my husband, we have our horses at home, so it's a lot better.
Yeah.
But
now you get to take care of them on your own.
Yep, exactly.
You're never going to have a vacation again, Krystle.
No, it's hard. Yeah, I know. That's the hardest thing that people don't warn you about when you want to go on vacation or, a little trip here and there. You got to find someone to watch them that you trust.
Me? That might be the problem.
You're tough. The one that watches her animals, Remy, when she's gone?
No.
Oh, she's the problem. Happened to Remy? That's what she's saying. It's usually me, Krystle. I'm usually the problem.
Yeah.
But today, so you have lived in California your entire life.
Mm-hmm. Yep, been here my whole life.
Hold on, coming back.
Remy, this is hilarious that it's you.
Oh no, she's still a dark screen.
She's frozen. So Krystle, obviously the name of your company is Dusty Diamond Leather.
Yeah.
So you do custom made leather work.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
How did you get into that, or how long have you been in the leather work?
This is my 5th year, like full-time doing leather work. And I got into it because some people that I knew in the roping community were doing custom leather, and we ordered like a belt from Jake Gibbs, and he did an amazing job. And I was like, wow, is this something that like people do, is like make leather work? Because my whole life I just bought stuff from the store and didn't know there was this whole custom world out there. So decided to buy like a little kit and play around with it and see if I liked doing it as a little hobby. And then it kind of became an obsession. So in 2017, I started full time and went to Jake, and he helped me out a lot get started, and then just kind of learned from YouTube videos and taking some classes here and there, and it just spun off into its own thing.
I had a memory pop up like when you were first doing the pop sockets. Like it's like,
mm-hmm.
And I was like, I mean, not that they like I bought stuff from Krystle since the beginning, but I was like, man, she's really gotten good. Not that those are bad, but it's crazy to look at that to now.
Right? Yeah, exactly. It's crazy.
Her work is probably much more intricate now than back then, right?
Right.
Like, yeah. So did you work like a full-time job somewhere else, like in corporate America or something before this all, Krystle?
Yeah. I worked at Boot Barn for 8+ years and got to do their events and do like the NFR every year, Cowboy Christmas, almost every year. And then I went to work for student housing, college apartments in Riverside. And it was nice because it was, Monday through Friday job. And so I wanted to get out of retail and do something more, consistent. But then I really started to miss like the Western world, like the Western industry and the being around like, my kind of people and everything. So that's why I started doing the leather stuff.
So you just threw yourself right into it then.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Probably before I was ready and before I was like any good, and just threw myself in and I'm going to make this happen.
Probably the best time to do it though, because so many people wait until they're perfect. It's perfect. Their
never
product
perfect,
is perfect.
Yeah.
The income is perfect. Everything's perfect, but it really doesn't work that way. It's probably best to just make the jump and the leap.
Take the leap, man.
Right. Because it's never perfect. I still, every time I make something, it's handmade. So I can probably, if you show me it a year later, I'll be like, oh, I remember, I made an accident right here and with like a little stamp mark or something. There's always something. So.
It looks like it's machine made. Don't let her lie to you.
No, there's always like some little error or some little dye that I got onto somewhere where it shouldn't be, but most people can't see it.
So how hard was it going from, because now you're a full-time entrepreneur, did you have an entrepreneurial background where you kind of had some guidance or?
No, but I feel like my work experience helped me a lot. The Boot Barn, stuff kind of helped me with like sales or events and things like that. And also kind of to know the Western industry and like what's popular and what people are looking for that they can't find in a store like that. And then with the apartment complex, like that helped me a lot with the accounting because I was like kind of their bookkeeper there. So it helped me to like make sure I'm keeping my books right and things like that. And I also did a lot of marketing and stuff with them too. A lot of posting on social. My alarm clock, sorry. So I feel like all my work experience kind of helped, with the adventure, but yeah, kind of just winging it.
Well, I would say that most people would say that they were a little nervous or scared or had mixed emotions about making the leap. And especially when you're making your own product. I mean,
right.
That entrepreneurship, it all falls on you anyway, but making your own product is, it's not like an event or something.
It is kind of scary, especially, I feel like when I started to get into horse tack a little more, and it's like trying to know exactly the weight of the leather it should be to make it safe and things like that were kind of scary too.
So what's your favorite thing to make?
Probably horse tack, head stalls and breast collars. I have this passion for handbags, but for some reason I can't really bring myself to make a whole bunch of them.
I saw them. I looked on your website and they're really cool. Like,
oh, thank you.
I mean, in case you're wondering what to get me for Christmas, Remy, I really like the crossbody ones.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
I feel like that would look good on me. So just saying.
Yeah. Yep, I love handbags. I wish I could get more into them and kind of just take that leap. But I think it's like the lining and the pockets and all the extra things that I really need to dive into and start making. But
yeah, horse tack, that's more like seamstress stuff over leather work. Yeah,
it feels a little out of my realm. I think is why I haven't made a bunch of them. But
look, just take the leap for that. But
yeah, I agree with Remy on that. It seems
and
like
Brett will model them all for you.
There we go. Perfect.
The more like, because women's Western fashion especially changes so fast.
It does.
And there's so many, I mean, I don't know where these people get their money from to be able to buy all this stuff, but they want to change with it. Then they change with it fast. The girl, a lot of the consumers do, if you know what I'm saying.
Right.
So I feel like your work is good enough. I'm not seeing it in person, but looking at what I saw, you will have.
I think that Krystle stuff though is not. It's gonna sound bad. It's not trendy. It's like very classic and that older style, like not
That's what I like.
Right.
Like not last week's older style, but like all the rough out and the buck stitch makes it makes it timeless. So it's not looking like, if you know, it's not looking dated a month
I
after you
like timeless leather work. My dad
Yeah.
actually got me this
Great.
vintage purse.
Mm-hmm.
You could do this, I bet, Krystle.
Yeah. They did the book stitching around the
So
bottom
it
there.
looks
That's
like
cool.
his Woodstock era, I feel like.
Very cool.
And then the handle broke. So I had to put my belt on it. And now
That
my
worked.
flipping belt broke because my dog chewed on it.
So what you're saying is you need a purse strap.
So what you're saying is
What I'm saying is I need to get rid of these damn dogs.
No, and so you've been traveling and doing some of the stuff with your leather work too, right?
Not a whole lot, no. I've done a couple booths here and there at some smaller shows, but I haven't done anything really big yet. I want to. I want to do Cowboy Christmas maybe one year would be awesome.
It seems like a lot of work. I meant like
Oh,
when you did, like when you entered this thing in Pendleton and stuff like that, as far as design.
Right. Yep. I sent a little coaster to Pendleton. They were having like a tooling contest. That was fun.
Did you get it?
No, I didn't win, but
Oh, but
the
it's
one
still
that
probably cool to do.
yeah. There's
So-
another contest coming up here soon, so we'll see how it goes.
I'll try and help. I voted for Krystle. I tried to help her win.
Thank you.
You know, I hear a lot of, because of social media, good and bad things spread fast as far as getting your artwork out there, getting your product out there for makers such as yourself. And there's been a lot of controversy over the last probably 2 years because of the speed of social media. People stealing people's designs. Thoughts,
Right.
ideas on that?
Right.
What are your thoughts?
It's hard because it's always hard to, try to reinvent the wheel. There's only so many things, and I feel like the things that people want have been done for so long, cactuses, feathers, things like that. So it's like, how do you put your own spin on it, or how do you break away from that? So like that space cowgirl, is a little bit of a different theme, but people have been doing that too here lately. So it's really hard to kind of stay original, but when you're starting out, it's almost like you kind of have to copy other people to learn like how to do certain things, or how to tool, or you can buy patterns and tool other people's patterns and things like that. Once you have like a good idea of what you're doing, it's definitely important to like make your own original work. But the big controversy, I think, is what you're talking about is there is a company that is taking other people's work, makers that are, they're hand drawing their patterns and everything, and they're putting them onto purses and different things, and they're just mass producing, other designs that, makers have made. So I definitely feel like that is, cheating. They're taking a picture of their work and putting it on their bag and selling it. So it's heartbreaking. Like, we put so much work into it, and it's so hard to, stay original. And for me, I'm not a great drawer, so it takes me a long time to draw a pattern or a design. So I put all that work into it, and luckily, knock on wood, it hasn't happened to me. But it would be definitely heartbreaking and devastating that someone would just take 2 seconds to steal this picture of my work and put it as their own. So
yeah, because like in all reality, how many like of one item do you hope to sell, or do you think that you could sell, Krystle? I have no clue. Like,
with my stuff, I hand draw every single piece now, and so every piece is drawn by me, and I tool it, and I don't use the same pattern over and over. So it's every single one is like one of a kind.
so yeah, if that maker would steal something of yours,
And then they would sell thousands of them.
they would
At
sell
a very reduced price.
Yes. Yes.
Yep.
And that's hard too, because we're keeping track of our time as well. I don't really keep track of my time, but I try to. And, I feel like I can only charge so much, because everyone has this idea in their mind that a belt should cost, Boot Barn's prices. I keep saying Boot Barn and they're, but you know, like they have this retail price in mind. And so when you're trying to charge 4 times that because you have so much time and energy into it, it's really hard, you know, to get.
It's time, energy. It's also better quality, you know, it's better quality leather. It's not going to break when you catch it on your saddle horn.
Right.
That's what I was just going to say, Remy, is I mean, I think that the majority of people who would purchase from you versus a place like Boot Barn know and understand the difference of quality and what they're purchasing, right?
Right.
And
but it's hard. It's like you said. So when you have like Western influencers that are wearing the crossbody fringe bag today, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if someone's going to charge $500, but they can get it online for $90, they're going to buy the $90 one most of the time.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. And like you said, fashion is going so fast, so I don't think want to spend $500 on a bag that, you know, they're going to want a new style here next week. So.
And the stuff is, the other thing is like the nicer leather stuff does last a long time. That's why I said like when she's got that more classic style, like for her cell phone holders, right? Where it's the buck stitch with someone's brand. Like those are very pretty. They last a long time. Our friend Javi has one from her with his brand on it, and it gets abused and still looks very nice.
Yeah, thanks.
So.
Yeah.
Love it. So you mentioned that you have fur babies.
Mm-hmm. Yep. We've got 2 horses, a dog, and a cat.
Nice.
So
good.
Her dog helps. Her dogs and horses help model a lot of stuff.
Yes.
I bet they do.
Yeah.
They do.
And so then Krystle came to help us gather
the
last couple of years in Yucaipa, which is by where she grew up. And we brand the calves there. We rope them and brand them. And Krystle missed and wanted to back out. And I was like, but James won't let you leave. You have to stay until you start catching. Yeah. So like you'll see the picture I share every once in a while, like where we're all like yelling in the background with our hands up, but it's Krystle that roped the calf. So we were all excited for her. And,
I have seen that picture. It's cute.
Yeah, because what happens, like we grew up with cowboys that are like, oh, when you miss, you get out of the pen. And I was like, but you don't do that here. We're going to stay until we find success.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. It was such a fun day.
So what do you think your greatest challenge or hurdle has been throughout all of this process, Krystle?
I would say the pricing. You know, I listen to a lot of leather podcasts and things, and a lot of people have questions on pricing, and it's much more than materials plus your time. You know, there's a lot of overhead, and so trying to calculate all of that and also be affordable. And then I feel like I have a mental block where I know I can only afford so much, so to charge more than that is hard for me.
I get that.
I would say that, but my husband's been amazing, and he's totally kept me afloat when it gets tough. So he's been awesome.
I feel like weeks like this, I don't know if you feel like this, Remy, but like with the it's just such a weird week because of the holiday being on a Tuesday. So I was like, I need to get, not that I wasn't working, because every day except for Monday I was fine, like I'm not doing it today, somebody else can do it, all the stinking stalls. But it messes with your mind a little bit, and I think that for me, I just kind of felt shitty. I felt mentally shitty after the long weekend because I didn't.
All the drinking you did in sun hats that made you feel shitty.
Easy there, Remy. What were you spying on me? No, you just feel shitty because you feel so unproductive, and I don't know.
Yeah. With me, I think I get what you're saying, because also too, one of the hardest parts is actually being able to sit down at the workbench and get stuff done, because I feel like if anything needs to happen with the household or anything, it's on me to go do the errands during the day, or go, get my tires changed, or I'm always like leaving to go take care of things. And so it's not like I'm at this bench for 8 hours a day working and putting, product out. So I think the productivity is also tough. You have to be pretty disciplined.
Yeah.
And then, like, do you ever have an idea for a piece that you just build and then you're like, I'll build it and then I'll sell it? Because I'm gonna be honest, I don't think I could sell a lot of this. Like, I'll make something. I was like, that's cool. I'm not getting rid of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the reason you're not a full-time leather maker, Remy.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I made a really cool stingray head stall and tripping collar, and I wanted to keep it so bad, but I'm like, my horse is retired and we don't have plans on buying me another one, so why would I keep it? But just to like hang it up in my house or something would have been awesome. But I ended up selling it. So, and then with handbags, I always try to make me one or make like an extra, because I need to carry them around. I need to advertise. Yeah, it's tough. I don't know. I usually put everything up for a sale, and if something doesn't sell, I might keep it. But it is tough. It's tough to let them go. Sometimes they're like turn into your babies. You put so much time and work and creativity into them, and so it feels like your blood, sweat, and tears are into it.
It has to feel good though when you sell it, because then you're like, it means people like me and they like my work. Yeah. And
yep,
that's good. Like I must have did a good job because they bought it.
Yeah, I try to have that outlook on it. Like, okay, I'm sending it off into the world, and now it's going to become, this piece that someone's going to use, and I love that. So rather than just sitting in my house getting dusty. But
I know Remy, well, I'm not. My creativity flows differently than Remy's, but Remy is very creative, and she likes to draw and create that way.
Mm-hmm.
And you dabbled in leather work, or still do when you have time, right, Remy?
Yes, but we don't have an insulated garage, so
oh yeah,
that'll be put on hold until it's not 115 in my garage.
Right.
And I did for Christmas, I got a sewing machine from James with Krystle's help, because she told him which one to get for me. So now
how do you like it?
I mean, for the little I've used it, it's fantastic, because I was using James's dad's old machines, and the one that we kept is like for like legit like tripping collars. Like it's for very big pieces. So Krystle helped James get me one that's more appropriate for the things that I'm doing.
Yeah, like spur strap.
But I do the same thing. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get a clicker so I can cut all these pieces, and then I was like, I'm not though. But like, I'm not. I'm gonna get a $3,500 machine to not, to make like 4 bronc halter nosebands, and that's it.
Well, if you get one, let me know. I'll be over there every week.
I know. I will. I saw one for sale. I almost bought it, but it sold right away. Someone was getting a divorce, and they had like all these pieces, so I'm just gonna buy it. But,
Krystle, do you have any good advice for aspiring entrepreneurs that might be listening to this?
I think, like we talked about earlier, start before you're ready. You can't always like wait around and I'll wait until I know how to make 10 items, or wait till I know how to perfect making those items, and now I want to wait until my patterns are perfect, and now I want to wait until you just got to get started and put yourself out there and just start posting your work. And when people learned I was doing leather work, all of a sudden it was like, oh well, I need a hat band made, or oh well, I want a belt made, or they just start coming to you. It was kind of weird for me. I think the roping helped a lot, because we were seeing everyone like every week, and people learned I was doing leather, so it was easy for them to order something,
to get orders,
orders. Yeah, so I think start before you're ready. Or you can do it part-time too if you need to have that income coming in, because it doesn't come in right away. Like I wasn't flowing in the money. I was charging a lot less because I feel like I was just starting out and I wasn't very good. So there again, my husband helped me, a lot financially to be able to stay home and dive in. If you don't have that backing, you can do it on the side still and keep working at it. And I think just don't give up. Just keep learning, keep an open mind. I forced myself to draw like all my patterns. That way, like I would see improvement with like every piece. So sorry, my alarm keeps going off. So I would, hand draw all my patterns. And then I would start seeing progress with every piece. And now I'm to where I'm at because I did that instead of drawing a pattern and then sticking with that same one every time. Like I just try to keep improving, try to keep learning, take classes. I just went to Julie Bachner Design Leather School. She was amazing. She's in Washington and she's like the most amazing human. Helped me so much. So I always take classes, always being willing to learn and be open-minded. And
I know this is kind of off the top. Well, it's not off the topic. It is very much relatable to this topic. The Art of the Cowgirl. Did you know that they have an internship program?
Yes. I've applied for it a couple times. And then I also went when they were in Montana. I went to that show.
Yep.
And took a leather class from Nancy Martini, and that was helpful too. Like every class I go to and take, I learn so much. Even though it's just a regular tooling class, you're gonna learn. There's 100 different ways to say that.
Well, that's like I watch. It's like you said. So I watch like a lot of the Don Gonzalez videos because he just makes everything look so easy.
Mm-hmm.
But it's funny, like when you watch guys, like even with like basket weaving, like the basket weave stamp, right? Like guys, all like there's a similar way to do it, but there's a lot of guys that are like, oh, this trick works, and then you try and you're like, no wonder I couldn't get it straight before.
Right, exactly. There's just so much you can learn. It's like I feel like I'm still new sometimes. I'm still learning, different ways to do things or different products to use, or yeah.
Well, I think too, it's like, I mean, we've seen it a lot, and there's always been a lot of female leather workers, but I think you're seeing the rise of a lot more women on their own doing leather work rather than in conjunction with someone else.
Right.
Or it's like, I love when you watch like the saddle makers videos, and I think it's Burn Saddlery, and they show all the tooling, and it's all girls tooling.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's
there's a lot of
I think like with Art of the Cowgirl, I mean, I guess I just haven't put much thought into it on like the silver makers and then the braiders and the painters, all of that. Like the leather makers, they highlight all of them, like all of those jobs, all of those entrepreneurial categories of women doing them, women masters, and you don't think about that very often, but there's a lot of very talented women out there in those industries in the Western community.
Yep, there are. Yeah, that was such a fun show to go to. It was really interesting to see.
Like I think you see a lot of difference. It's funny to me too because I do the same thing. I watch all the videos. I follow like all these different Instagram deals. Is also seeing the different styles from different regions of the country. Like and I think some of it's I think some of it's the availability of tools, and then also what you need.
I think it's our culture. I think it's the culture of each, because like in the West, like I would say, well, it is California, Idaho, Oregon. There's a lot of silversmiths and braiders and whatnot in that country, and their work is so much different than somebody who would be from the Midwest or South. Like,
and it's the same thing. It's like the what's funny to me is like, yes, like everyone does cactus, right? Like, or not everyone, but a lot of guys do cactus. Is to look at the intricacy of guys from like California, New Mexico, Arizona on their cactus as compared to somewhere else.
Yeah.
Like, because it's funny, like when you actually look at the leather work, right? Like A lot of guys will just do kind of like the bubble with like the little flower and that's it. And then you look at guys from California, like, you know, the Southwestern states. And it's not like it's a huge difference, just the care that's taken to how they stain it or antique it on top of it is different than it is other places.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
Yep, that's true. And California also limits some of the chemicals that you can get too.
Yeah, like the thing that cracks me up is you can't buy some stuff and have it shipped to you, but you can go to Tandy and buy it from there. And I was like, well, how did it get there if it didn't get shipped?
Right?
They walked it across the line.
Took it on donkeys.
Or you just got to know somebody that lives in another state.
I had to do that with my shower head, actually. Like, I wanted the big square shower heads, like the big ones. And they won't ship them to California because of our
water supply.
Water wasting. Oh. So I had to ship it to my friend in Nevada and then picked it up from him at Western Regionals like 2 years ago.
Nice. So you're disclosing something that you're doing illegally in California across our podcast right now, Remy.
Living on the edge, dude.
I need you.
And I'm going to tell you, because it's a giant shower head. I'm going to tell you, it still puts out less water than my California approved shower head.
Stop talking about it, Remy. God.
Or it's like for us, like, so we use like the like Furacin, like the powder for cow's eyes.
Oh,
you can buy it in California.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I can buy it in California. I cannot have it shipped from Valley Vet Supply. And again, I'm like,
yeah.
But how'd that get here? Like, you don't have like a Furacin plant in California. Maybe they do. I don't know. But I'm like,
she loves this state though.
Mm-hmm.
I do love this. It's awesome. Krystle loves the state too because everyone else is leaving and she and Jerry are still here. So I don't hear it.
Yeah, no, we love the weather. It's so nice. Yeah. The traffic is just getting crazy though. We're building so many houses.
I will attest to that. Like,
yeah.
Phoenix isn't much better though.
Yeah,
it's not. But I
mean, she's in Minnesota now, but when she's in Phoenix, it's not much better.
It's rural, extremely rural here. I just have to put up with slow moving vehicles, and I'm okay with that. No. So, Krystle, where can our viewers find you and your work?
Well, my business name is Dusty Diamond Leather, and that's basically all my handles, you know, Instagram and Facebook. And then I also have my website, dustydiamondleather.com.
And I will edit this and put it in one of these corners over here.
Awesome. Thank you.
I'm super talented when it comes to that.
To the editing.
Sometimes, not all the time. No, and I think it's important. Like, I think it's important to, when you're younger, right? And this is for our younger audience that we have. I know, because I can see the demographics. Is if you're going to buy a piece from a leather worker, a silversmith, whoever, understand that you are paying for time,
right,
expertise, and product.
Yes.
And a piece like if you buy a piece like a belt from Krystle, a purse, a cell phone holder, a headstall, a breast collar, it is going to last you a lot longer. So rather than buying 4 things for $90 to $100, just spend the money, save up, spend the money, and buy one quality piece.
Right.
And they tell you this about shoes too, like when you're younger, right? Like if you're in corporate America, buy like one nice pair of heels rather than a lot of cheap ones. But it's the same thing. And Breck and I have this conversation a lot. Like a lot of our tack is older, but it's really high quality tack. So when you spend the money to begin with, you end up with a piece that lasts you for, 20 years rather than a season.
Yep, definitely. And in today's world, you want less throwaway items. You want items that are last. Yeah.
Well, you get to a certain point in your life too where you just want to be a minimalist and have less things. So which would mean less things, you have to have higher quality things. So
yeah. Right.
It's her alarm. The alarms are tricky, man. I'll tell you, it happens to me too. Well, and apparently my Wi-Fi didn't work this morning. It wasn't Breck's for once. It was me.
Whoops.
I'm right by my router.
Not saying anything.
Yeah, so go support Krystle. If you can't afford to buy things, share her product, because that's the other thing is exposure.
Right.
And when she's in contests, vote for her. So there's that. help her in other ways.
Thank you so much, Krystle, for sharing your story on here this morning with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I really enjoyed it, even though it was early. Had a lot of fun with you girls. So,
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Fun.
Remy, are we staying on for a little bit here?
Yeah, we can stay on for a minute.
Krystle can go off, or we'll
yes,
let
Krystle can go off.
Okay.
Krystle can sign off, but thank you again, Krystle, for being on here with us. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks.
Bye,
Thank
Krystle.
you.
Have a good day.
Success. She her stuff is really fantastic. It is very pretty.
Well, I did look through her website, and there's a lot of things on there that are extremely nice.
Yes. So, And how's baseball going for you?
We're on a break.
Did you get a break for 4th of July?
We are on a break. Yeah. We are on a break. So
and then we had a tragedy in the horse community this last weekend. Tatum Seek was, I think I heard she was going to look at a horse, was in her lane, and someone crossed across 2 lanes and totaled her vehicle, and she died at the scene. So there's a GoFundMe that Randy Babbitt started. You can find it all over social media. We'll share it from our social media site. She's got her mom and her brother, and honestly, like, if you look at all the outpouring, she had friends all across the country in a lot of different horse things. She also raced motocross before. So if you can help the family out.
California cowgirl who recently moved to Texas.
Yeah.
And she was in the same circle that you and I were.
And she was in a lot of circles. Like, honestly, they showed reiners and cutters, and like I said, she had motocross. So it's a very big community that is missing someone that had a lot to offer and who was funny and engaging,
genuine person. It sounds like. And she was not old at all by any means. No. How old was she?
I mean, not that it matters, but no, she was very young, and again, she was in her lane driving somewhere. So, extra heavy on the I love you and be safe, and because stuff happens very quickly, and you tend to not be ready for it.
No, I mean, I'm sure that when she got into her truck that morning, no one would have. Prayers to her family, the people who surrounded her.
No, and so, let's be a little bit nicer. It's a reminder to take time to appreciate everything that we have. But like I said, I will put up the link for the GoFundMe because, you don't plan a funeral for your daughter. You don't set anything aside for that because...
No. Speaking of things that you just can't control,
flies is what I cannot control this morning. There's more than one this week in here.
Assholes are having babies in your office because you didn't get it out.
I did get the one out.
Well, it's 4th of July weekend in Minnesota. We've got a ton of lakes. These lakes are so crazy busy, which I'm sure they are everywhere. But you've got, the one lake by us, Remy, there you couldn't even get down the road. There are houses all around the lake, and they are close together. Like, you could reach out and touch the cabin next door from your window. And they've got like 4 or 5 campers, fish houses in their yards. Every single one of them. We're talking hundreds of houses with all of these campers, extra additional campers. Can you imagine how many people are on that lake? It's just craziness. Because you have to be so careful. You have to be careful with kids. You have to be careful if you're out there driving a jet ski. Now, our lake is just us, so there's no worries. But a friend's son was out jet skiing this weekend on one of those lakes that has a lot of people. And they were having fun, right? They've driven jet ski for most of their life because they grew up on these lakes. And there's 2 of them. The one kind of stopped. The other one was going to go by and spray him with water. And when he stopped those jet skis do not turn. When you slow down or stop, you cannot turn the jet skis. Anyway, the one that was going to spray them realized they couldn't turn and freaking ran right into the one who was stopped. And it totaled the jet ski out. It sunk it. Thank God he didn't get hurt, the kid on it, because he was going 30 when he hit him, and the other kid was at a standstill. I'm like, it's just scary to think that that could have been the loss of a life that day of one of our really good friends, kids. I don't know. I don't know.
No, I mean everything. It does. Everything happens. It happens really fast. Like so, fireworks are illegal in our county because we'll just catch on fire as well.
I was gonna say, yeah, but you guys are so dry that
we're so dry. So we went to the baseball game we went to the Storm, which is our local minor league team, and they had fireworks on Saturday. And I'm laughing because like historically, because it's in Lake Elsinore, historically they've caught that place on fire and the surrounding areas on fire. So they said they were going to have fireworks and they canceled the fireworks and the fireworks were back on and the fireworks were phenomenal. But there were so many firefighters like ringed around they were ready
area.
this time. Yeah. And then on for the last 3 nights, we've had fireworks going off, and there'll be fireworks going off at like 2:00 in the morning. I was like, who is watching your firework at 2:00 in the morning? So I have to keep my dogs penned up. I think I can turn them loose tonight, but they've been penned up for the last couple nights because my younger 2 dogs, which one's not young, he's 10, but my younger 2 dogs, they don't handle fireworks very well.
Terrified of them.
But I'm like, look, we're in the middle of brush. Like, stop setting off fireworks. My favorite is if you can go on YouTube, watch the time lapse of fireworks over Los Angeles. Because there's so many fireworks that go off, like in the middle of LA, like middle of LA, like over all the sky. It's awesome.
Have you seen that video? I'm sure you have because you're a TikToker, and one of my girlfriends sent it to me, and I'm like, oh my God. So this family is all enjoying the holiday, and they're all sitting in the front yard.
Oh my God, I love that video.
In a cul-de-sac, and I'm like, why on earth would you do those kind of freaking fireworks in a cul-de-sac that close to your next door neighbor with another house directly in front of you? So all the families lined up. They've got their really nice Suburban sitting here. They've got the fireworks stacked behind the Suburban, and they're lighting them off by the mailbox. It appears that when they lit it, the one tipped, and it started shooting everywhere, into the crowd, into the fireworks that they had sitting by their Suburban. And it blew the freaking Suburban up. I mean, it was a disaster. They're lucky somebody didn't lose a life.
Yeah, I don't. I love all the pictures like before 4th of July, like X-rays of people like missing fingers, and it's like, be safe. Oh. Like I don't want to be in. Like I like fire. I don't want to be in charge of fireworks that big.
So I buy them. I'm the one who buys them, and I like them, but it does make me nervous until they're over. Like I just want it over. I don't want any accidents to happen.
Yeah, no, we would. Our stuff would catch on fire, so we don't. But when we go to Lake Powell, like people get the like legit fireworks, like the ones that like go up and spin with the gold and like shower down like fireworks show fireworks. But there's really nothing to catch on fire there either. So
nice.
That's but yeah, there's like lots of. Or I love like there's the same thing. There's a housing tract across the street from us. Like there's an empty pasture and a housing tract, and there's like legitimate fireworks going off on there. And I was like, how have you not caught someone else on fire? Like the houses are all close. They're narrow streets.
Yeah, I don't.
And there were signs everywhere, right? Like Riverside County fireworks are illegal, and then like all the blinking road signs, like in the city of Hemet, fireworks are illegal. So, 4th of July, America. I got James a Blackstone griddle for his birthday.
Oh yeah, and it's James's birthday Tuesday.
It was
4th of July.
4th of July, baby. Then I tried to take balloons. I had all these red, white, and blue balloons. I was going to take them outside because while it was hot, it was also breezy, which made it bearable. So I'd like walk outside like with my first group of balloons, and it's like, and they're like hitting me in the face, and you can hear the balloons hitting off of each other. And I was like, and we're gonna leave them tied inside on the banister. So,
well, it was a monumental day for me yesterday because it has been so hot and buggy here too. Like, so hot, so buggy. Our horses needed a break. Whatever. So they've been pretty much off since some of them. I should say some of them because the boys have been riding still, but I haven't. I've been cleaning stalls and keeping the farm going.
And 4th of Julying it up.
Yeah. Well, yesterday was the first time I wore pants since we came home from our RSNC final.
Since Scott's picture. Is that that's the last time of you?
Huh?
Since Scott's picture.
Oh yeah. 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 My mom said that I happened to be on the Cowgirl channel last night too.
Look at you.
And I said, was I riding? She goes, no, it was so nice. You were in the crowd cheering. And I'm like, oh my God.
Professional cheerleader, Brooke.
I guess.
You can be a professional cheerleader. I am now a professional duck wrangler.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I guess. Funny stories. Fun times. Well, thanks for getting Krystle to come on there with us today.
Remember, guys, like, follow Dusty Diamond Leather, as I tell you every week for us. Like, subscribe, scream into the void, hate, listen, ignore us in the background. But
I was going to say, last week you put that, like, just
like, I love it. I put stuff like that almost every week, and I'm like, I don't think anyone pays attention to this.
I thought it was funny. I did think it was hilarious. So. Plans for the weekend?
We'll be back next week. I don't know what I'm doing this weekend. I never know what I'm doing, honestly.
Well,
just out here winging it, man.
Weekend.
And then we got friends up in Canada. So if you're in Canada riding, good luck. Godspeed.
Stampede.
The Open was a little different. I saw that it's like, because they take the top 20. So in 19th and 20th, this team's on 5 heads. So it must have been a little rough.
Oh, is it already over?
Well, just no. So yesterday's qualifiers were the Open and the 10, and today's maybe the 14. I don't know. I didn't. I should have paid more attention, but I didn't. I just know it was yesterday because I was stalking Michelle on Sword Arena.
Cheek.
Yeah, so go get her, Michelle. She didn't have a great day yesterday, but
well,
today's a new day.
Yeah. Carry on. And I have a ton of friends that are at Little Britches this week in Oklahoma.
I love watching that, like when it's on RFG TV. It made me so happy.
Yeah, I know. So good luck to all those littles that are there, especially my BFF's daughter, Johnny Lynch. Good luck to her. So, all right. Until next week, Remy. Be bold.
Be brave.
Be humble.
Gold star for you, Breck.
I've been practicing.
Bye.
Bye, Remy. See you tomorrow. Or see you next week.
See you next week. Bye.